What's happening, folks? My name is Robbie, I'm a specialist finance broker, and today we have another reaction video. As I always say at the start of a reaction video, they seem to be relatively popular on my channel, so if everyone keeps watching them, I'll keep making them. I'm not going to drag this introduction out any longer, we're going to get straight into the video. So today we are watching What Do Supercar Owners Do for a Job by Carwow. Carwow is a very popular channel on YouTube, presented by a guy called Matt Watson. As far as I understand it, they're almost like an auto trader, like a platform that you can buy cars on. But they produce a lot of content on YouTube as well. The videos are always really entertaining, and as someone who loves cars, I watch these videos most weeks, and they were one of the things that got me through lockdown, watching drag races every weekend. So there's nothing else to say, let's get straight into the video.
I'm at Cars and Coffee in California, a place where loads of car fans come and bring their amazing vehicles. What I'm going to do is speak to some of the owners to find out how much they know about their cars. Do they know the engine, the power output? I'm also going to find out how much they paid for their cars and exactly what they do for a living in order to be able to afford them. Because I'm Matt Watson and you're watching Carwow. Buy, sell,
Carwow.
This might be interesting as well because I say that I like cars, I'm into cars, particularly performance cars, high-end cars. I am not the guy who can look under a bonnet of a car and identify anything, to be completely honest. But I like cars, I like the look of them, I like driving them. So it'll be interesting to see if I can actually talk the talk if he's asking people questions about their cars. The answer is I probably won't have the answer to most of these questions.
What car have you got?
I have the Ferrari California.
So, do you know what engine's in it and the horsepower?
Absolutely.
6 litre? No. I don't even know what engine would be in this. A 4 litre? Is 4 too small? 480 horsepower.
Absolutely. 450 horsepower, 4.3 litre V8.
Pretty good guess, to be honest. I was 0.3 litres away and 30 horsepower away as well. It's a pretty decent guess. I was going to say a V6, so that would have been wrong.
How much is this car worth?
It's between 120 and 140.
And what do you do for a living?
Exotic car rentals.
Ah, that's one.
There will be a lot of that, I think, because I see all these videos all the time about supercar owners in America and car rentals, exotic car rentals as they call it in America. It's very, very popular, from what I understand at least.
Way to get yourself an exotic car, right. Get a business renting them out. What car have you got?
So this is a Viola Parzife Urus Performante. It's brand new. I just got it about 3 weeks ago.
What engine's in it and how much horsepower has it got?
So this is a 4.
This one has a 5 litre V8, 610 horsepower. That's the guess.
0.4 litre V8 twin turbo, 666 horsepower.
It's actually a 4 litre twin turbo V8.
Did I say 4 litre?
You said 4.4. That's a BMW engine, a 4.4.
Yeah, my apologies.
It's all right. You've just bought it.
Again, not a terrible guess. Not an amazing guess, but not a terrible one.
Yes.
What was the price?
322.
And what do you do for a living?
My mom owns a mayonnaise company, so I'm the heir to the mayonnaise dynasty.
Quite right, mate. Quite right.
Really?
No, I'm fucking with you.
No way. I fell straight into that trap. Oh my god, that is so embarrassing.
I'm in tech, the overlord of the nerds.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly paying off.
Yeah, I'm doing things.
Hi, mate. Can you tell me about your car? What is it?
Yeah, it's a 2017 Ferrari F12. It's a V12 engine.
How much horsepower has it got?
It's about 730.
And what's the capacity of the engine?
I don't know. It's a V12. I'm not sure.
Do you know the value of this car?
About 300,000.
300,000.
Yeah.
And what do you do for a living?
I own a mortgage company.
Ah, good.
There you go.
Can you tell me what car you've got?
Huracan Evo Spider.
So what engine's in it?
5.2 litre V8.
A 5.2 liter V10.
Do you know how much horsepower?
Yeah, it's 640 metric horsepower.
What is the value of this car?
So this is actually the cheapest Evo Spider in the country when I bought it. $260,000.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a software engineer, and I don't own the company. I'm just like a senior engineer.
A senior engineer. Pays well then, yeah?
Yeah, it's a Silicon Valley pay.
Oh, nice. Oh, mate, this is a really nice car. What is it exactly?
It's a Bugatti Chiron W16 engine, 1,500 horsepower, I think.
It is a Bugatti Chiron. It is the Helby, one of one.
What engine's in it?
W16 quad turbo, 8 liters, 1,500 horsepower.
I was right. Bang on. Love that.
Do you know the value of this car?
I'd say roughly $3.5 to $4.5 million US.
Oh, you don't own it though, do you?
No, it's not mine. It's not mine, but I do know the owner.
So this is James, right? James organises Cars and Coffee.
Yep.
You know, it's his thing. He set it up, didn't you?
This is my event, yeah. I appreciate you guys coming out. Do know the owner of this. He owns a massive clothing chain, among a bunch of other things. One of the clothing stores is actually in this mall. So guys, he has this, a Devo, a Veyron, the Bugatti Vision 1 of 1. He has so many insane cars, and this is one of them.
And this is the one he's brought along today?
Yes.
Well, he hasn't brought it along. He's got someone to bring it along for this event, yeah?
For him, yes, absolutely.
Well, very, very cool this car is. And very, very cool of you to actually invite us along and let's speak to some people. Thank you very much,
Thank you
James.
for coming out.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Can you tell me what car this is?
Oh, I love that. And that is the first car that we've seen that is like, it's not normal. It's not a normal car, but it's not a Ferrari. It's not a Lamborghini. I've mentioned this in videos before, but I like to have something that my brain can connect to. And as much as I'd like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, I'm not quite there. Whereas a very high-end Mercedes, I feel a lot more capable of getting there at some point in the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, 5 to 10 years, I could probably, I don't know. Who knows what could happen in 5 to 10 years. But what my point was, is a nice AMG Mercedes is a lot more attainable for your regular person, which I find interesting. Until she tells us it's worth 250 grand or something.
Mercedes AMG GT 63S.
So what engine's in it?
I don't know. They know.
It's a V8 4-liter, 630 horsepower.
Right, do you know the value of the car?
$150,000.
I mean, that is still, you could get an R8 for cheaper than that when you convert it to pounds and stuff as well.
And who owns it?
He owns it.
You own it?
We're both his kids.
So, okay, can you tell me what you do for a living?
I own a solar and a roofing company.
A solar company?
Yeah.
As in like solar energy?
Uh-huh.
Like good for the planet?
Yeah.
Just like a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 isn't?
Exactly like it. Yeah.
You're living the dream!
Yeah.
So, Christian, can you tell me about your car? What is it exactly?
I was going to keep guessing every car, or not guessing the car, but guessing the horsepower and the engine, but this video will go on all day, so I'm not going to do that. I like the idea at the start, but I'm realising it's going to take forever, and the video will start to become slightly dull, I think.
A Ferrari 488.
Do you know what engine's in it?
Twin turbo V8.
Do you know the capacity? How many litres?
I don't know.
You don't know. What's the value?
340K.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm actually an engineer.
Like physical engineer or a software engineer?
Physical engineer.
That's a bit rare around here in California, isn't it? Most engineers are actually software engineers.
It's interesting here that with the amount of money that you need to have to buy a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, obviously in California there must be a lot of money, obviously, especially with places like Silicon Valley, but it's very rare, especially in the UK, for someone to be an employee of a company to be able to afford a car like that. You typically need to own your own business to be able to generate the amount of income required to be able to get a car like that. But in this video, it seems like there's quite a lot of people who are just regular employees that get high salaries, which is interesting. Hello everyone, I'm just interrupting this video for a quick plug. If you're watching this video, you probably already know who I am, but for the benefit of those who don't, I'm Robbie and I'm a specialist finance broker. This means I help property investors, property developers and small to medium business owners with funding on their projects. That's buy-to-let mortgages, bridging loans, buy-to-let mortgages for portfolios, development finance and commercial mortgages. If you're a property developer, investor or business owner, email me on this email address or send me a direct message on Instagram to find out how I can help you. Right, plugs over, back to the video.
Yeah.
So good old-fashioned still building stuff can get you a Ferrari.
Hard work.
Can you tell me about your car? What is it exactly and what engine and horsepower does it have?
It's a GTC4 Lusso. It has the naturally aspirated V12.
Oh good, you got the V12.
I've got the V12, probably a little under 700 horsepower or so.
And so what's the value of this car?
225,000, somewhere in that range.
Can I ask what you paid for it?
I paid about $195 for it.
Oh, you got a bargain.
I got a bargain.
Nice work. So what do you do for a living?
That I can't say.
What does that mean? What could that be? Like a government position or something maybe? That's an interesting answer.
A clue.
I work in the healthcare industry.
Healthcare. So he works for like a pharmaceutical company probably, and they don't want people knowing how much money they make or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Good health tier. Dale, what car have you got?
I have a Corvette C8 Z51.
And what engine's in it?
This has a 6.2 V8 They say 495, but at the wheel probably about 460.
You're very precise. You know your stuff about cars. How much did you pay for it?
86,000 MSRP.
Okay.
When you compare that, obviously that's in America, so it would be more expensive here because of it being imported and stuff like that. But that's pretty reasonable for that caliber of car compared to the other cars that are there. Obviously, you're sort of paying for the name as well with Ferrari or Lamborghini, but that's quite reasonable in comparison.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a United States Marine.
Yay, the Marine Corps! So, what car is this? It's beautiful.
Look at that. That's interesting. What even is that? Is that an E-Type Jag? I'm not very good with my Jaguars. Very interesting to look at. Very original compared to Ferrari upon Lamborghini upon Ferrari.
This is an E-Type that was customized by the original owner. He bought the car in '65, customized it in 2011 with the shaved body, steel hood scoop, Ford V8. So
a Ford V8?
Jaguar guys may not be happy, but I can work on this car and it's pretty damn fast.
And how much horsepower does it have?
Well, it's not been dynoed, but I would think it's in the low threes.
And what's the value if you're to sell it?
60,000 to 160,000.
And what do you do for a living?
I do custom cabinetry.
Oh, right.
But I've done hot rods all my life.
And this is a bit of a hot rod?
You tell me.
I love it. It's lovely. Like your car.
Thank you.
Can you tell me what it is exactly?
McLaren 720 Spider.
Love the colour.
Thank you.
Very, very bold colour. So do you know what engine is in this car?
Yep, it's a 4.0 liter twin turbo.
And how much horsepower does it put out? Well, how much does McLaren claim?
720 horsepower.
It's easy, isn't it, on this car? How much was it?
386,000.
So what do you do for a living then?
I'm a sales guy.
What do you sell?
Insurance.
So do you get a deal on this?
Yeah, of course, of course.
So what?
See, he's an insurance salesman. Maybe they're self-employed though. I'm just trying to figure out how you can be a salesman or an engineer or a software developer or whatever. Well, I mean, software developer if you're working in tech company in Silicon Valley, but the amount of money that people are making on salaried positions, I would guess, but maybe they're self-employed and they don't have it. Well, obviously they don't have any capped earnings because I think it's quite common in America that sales positions don't have any salaries. So if you're good at it, you can make enough money to buy a McLaren, and if you're bad at it, you can't pay your mortgage that month.
Is your insurance premium on this?
$4,000 a year.
Woo!
To drive it like 1,000 miles.
And you're not selling insurance to me.
Right.
My name's Matt Watson. I do a car channel called Carwow on YouTube.
I know you.
Oh, do you?
Oh
Okay,
my gosh, I just saw your video today.
With the Koenigsegg.
With the Koenigsegg,
now,
exactly.
Now, my drag race with the Koenigsegg. So, can you tell me what car this is?
It's a Vantage S V12.
The V12.
It's 12.
This might come across as silly. I don't particularly like Aston Martins that much. The newer Aston Martins are pretty nice, but that might come across as silly. Like, what do you mean you don't like Aston Martins? You drive a C-Class. If someone offered me the chance to have an Aston Martin, I would probably bite their hand off. But in comparison to other cars in the same sphere, I don't think they look as good as their competitors. Maybe that's a bad take, I don't know.
100 in the world.
Yeah. I love this car actually.
It's natural aspirated.
Yeah, I've test driven this. So, what engine's in it? I'm going to test your knowledge.
6 litre V12.
And
565.
Yeah, you know your stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excellent. How much did you pay for this car?
100.
And what do you do for a living?
Online marketing. We generate leads for home services.
Is this your daily?
This is not my daily. My daily is a C63S.
Oh, okay.
And I have a
Love that. See, a C63S, I would take that over the Aston Martin personally. That's what I want next. Get rid of the C200 and get a C63S.
McLaren as well.
Right, but why did you choose this today?
I wanted like a natural aspirated V12
For the noise,
sound.
give us some noise. Oh, that sounds awesome.
So that was quite an insightful video, in my opinion. I find it so interesting to see what people do to afford the things that they have. As someone who, like I mentioned, I like cars, watches, I like expensive shit, to be honest. I do like expensive things, and I'm fascinated by how people got to the point of being able to buy these things. If I see someone go past in a Rolls Royce, I wonder, what are they doing to get the Rolls Royce? How do I get the Rolls Royce? So I find that really interesting, and every time I see a really nice car on the street, I am tempted to ask the person what it is they do for a living, but I don't want to be the guy with a microphone or a phone or whatever. What do you do for a living? Like on TikTok. But I think the next time I see a really nice car, I'm just going to ask, because curiosity gets the better of me, and I think it can sometimes start an interesting conversation. I wish more events like this happened in Scotland. There's only one event that I can think of that really does this, and that's an event called Autobahn, but they used to do public events and now they only do private events. You need to be a member, and maybe I'll become a member when I have a cool car. Thankfully, I do know someone who is a member, and he sometimes invites me to the events, which is very nice of him. But this was really interesting to see what people are doing to attain these cars, and to find out that a lot of them are employees. A lot owned their own businesses, retired, investing in property, things like that. But there's quite a lot of people who just work. They just have a job that pays really well. How much money do you need to make in a well-paid job to buy a Ferrari? A lot, I would think. How much money would I need to earn in a year to justify buying a Ferrari? Probably like £500,000 in a year to be able to justify that. So it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot, but very insightful. But I've had a quick look through the comments and there is nothing of note. Absolutely nothing interesting to mention. So we're just going to leave it at that. Thank you as always for watching, folks, and I will see you next week. Take it easy.